Warning: the following is a rant against the current meta structure or, or involving of a trading card game involving copyright material owned by Konami, 4K Media, Ka- Viz Media, Shishua Inc., Weekly Shonen Jump, and the family of the late great Kazushi Takahashi, the current right owners to Yu-Gi-Oh! This rant will also consist of extreme foul coarse language and other mature references. Viewer discretion is heavily advised. Okay, I usually have kept this off YouTube for as long as I can. But those who don't know, and I'm pretty sure many of you don't, was an avid player of the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG game. But lately, I have fallen out of love with the game. What's my problem with it? Simple. It's the kind of duelists that have been coming out of the woodworks in recent years, and the amount of stupid ass archetypes of spells, traps, and monsters that Konami has created without realizing the negative effects these cards create. What kind of players am I talking about? Basically, OTK combo loopers and jackasses who block your turn by playing one quick play QPS or monster effect too many that basically stymies your tactic. For those who don't know what an OTK means, it's short for a one turn kill. In Yu Gi Oh!, you can do this by constantly looping the same tactic over and over and over again, and your opponent can never get their turn in. This is what most of the higher tier jackass duelists tend to do, making them look like a bunch of dicks, frustrating lower tier players like myself so they stop playing altogether. I view this as something as they tend to play the game for the sake of getting the kill, not the battle that leads to getting the kill. In other words, players like myself prefer dragging the fight out until we get that kill. Modern day players, on the other hand, and especially when you consider how stupidly finicky and a bunch of fucking skinflints Konami is when it comes to the ban and limiting list, and how they only update the damn thing every 6 months, is frustrating. Exactly, Evie. At least you empathize with my point, don't you? I've lost many of friendships because these kinds of players and gotten kicked out. I've counted six with the most recent ban list, Evie. Evie, with the most recent ban list, I counted a 6 month gap. I mean, what cards do I want to see either errata that is rewritten and having their effects heavily nerfed, limited as to where you can only have one of that card in your deck at any given time, or flat out banned, as in the card cannot be in your deck at all. Every quick play spell in the runic set, because those things are a bitch to deal with. I want all of them limited to one at worst, and at best, completely banned. Mystic Mine in every burn stall card, limited to just one. I'm a hypocrite because on Dueling Book, I do have a stall deck that is very hit or miss at best for me. But at the very least, limit it to one. and just about every other new archetype that recently came out in recent sets, I want either errata or severely hampered and limited. But knowing how much money Konami is making off of this, I doubt they're gonna listen. My another point. This is fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! It's a fucking two-player game. You high-tier asswipes. It's not solitaire where you're playing like one individual. It's not fun when you do it that way. Like again, play the game like you're in a battle that leads to the kill, not play just so you can get the quick kill out of the gate. That's been my main problem with the modern or Yu-Gi-Oh setup. Too many players have too many decks that are all about getting the fast kill with needless combo loops. Or at the very least, I got another idea, Konami. Why not put these bastards on a timer? I.e., have it them play the game like chess. Namely, put a clock on the side of the table. And if they can't finish their turn within that fixed time limit, they forfeit their turn, or even worse, forfeit the duel. How do you like that idea, Evie? I mean, sure, you get the same shit more or less in Magic the Gathering. But you know what the difference is? Magic the Gathering does have at least one gimmick that prevents those OTKs. You know what that gimmick is? It's called summoning sickness, which means the minute you get a creature onto the field, it's not allowed to attack on the move it's brought on the turn it's brought out. I mean, yes, there are cards in the game that are creatures in Magic the Gathering in MTG, which I don't play all that often, nor do I have decks or cards for it, that are immune to that handicap. But the number of creatures in MTG that are immune to summoning sickness are few and far between. Outside of the first turn of Yu-Gi-Oh, every card is not is immune to summoning sickness, and that is frustrating. The minute Link monsters came out in Generation 6 of Yu-Gi-Oh was the day the game essentially died to me. Hell, even put these high tier players on games that I like to call bullet duels. You've heard of bullet chess, right? Finish your turn in 2 minutes or you forfeit the turn. And within 2 minutes or you forfeit your turn. Heck, I hardly go on Dueling Book these days. For those who don't know, it's a duel simulator site built off the Dueling Network engine. Konami, I'm giving you an ultimatum right now. It's October 8th, 2022, 10:45 a.m. Either you rewrite the cards that cause these fucking combo loops and nerf their effects, put them on the next ban list, put all or most of them on the next ban list in April of 2000, between February and April of 2023, or many lower tier players like myself are going to take our cards, pour gas on them, and set them ablaze. To hell with their value if you're just not going to listen to us. Force the higher tier players to play the game as a two-player game, not fucking solitaire. Beyond that, I don't have a damn thing else left to say. I mean, yeah, the Pokemon TCG does it better. Why? Because they also have the summoning sickness mechanic. I think. Let me ask Evie. Does Pokemon TCG have summoning sickness mechanic? So maybe I do have a little more to say. Oh, the retreat cost. I see. So the minute you get your Pokemon out, it doesn't get summoning sickness. Is that what you're telling me, Eevee? But it com- but as a retreat cost, if you put them back on the field, back on the battle zone, they get sick out. They can't attack, lose energy cards. Okay, okay, that makes sense. Then again, I've only played the Pokemon TCG like once, maybe twice in my life, and that was when it was starting in popularity during the first gen of the game, the series. But again, look at Magic the Gathering, look at Pokemon TCG, and look at Yu-Gi-Oh TCG. What mechanics are there that mitigate overpowering? That I think Yu-Gi-Oh needs to put into play outside of a damn ban list that is very loosely enforced. Magic the Gathering, summoning sickness. Can't attack on the turn you summon a creature. That balances things out. Pokemon, you call your Pokemon back, they lose energy cards as a retreat cost. So they're not as strong as they were when you brought them out the first time. That's balance. Yu-Gi-Oh on the other hand, needless amounts of combo loops, needless amounts of wall cards are to basically fuck with your tactics and allow players to just go through needless, pointless solitaire loops for OTKs instead of enjoying the battle that leads to the kill. That's not balanced. And every attempt Yu-Gi-Oh! Konami tries to fix ends up making these fix this mechanics, fix the game mechanics to make things a little more even. The higher tier players find a workaround, and Konami ends up making it worse. This may sound like the complaint of a guy who sucks at Yu-Gi-Oh! At Duel Monsters, and it kind of is, but it's also a legit gripe against the higher tier players of modern day. Do you see in the anime the characters going through these needless amounts of combo loops? No. Now, granted, it's a 22 to 23-minute kids cartoon used to advertise the game, but again, do you see them going through these needless combo loops? No. Due to time constraints, they gotta get the combos out of the way. And I get it. It's not television. It's real life. But that said, take a tip from the card game, real high tier players. Get your moves out of the way as fast as you fucking can instead of slowing everyone down with your needless combo loops. Why is it you think I never picked up Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel? Because I know that's how the modern day player plays. Choosing to get the fast kill, or the majority of them do, choosing to get the fast kill rather than prolonging the battle to enjoy and savor the kill, so to speak. It makes me fucking sick that there are so many players like this all over the planet that don't have the patience to ride the duel out and savor the kill and would rather play solitaire with their decks rather than actually duel. Leave a comment, smash the like, and sub to the channel. Till next time, this is Mets20128 signing out. Had to get this off my chest because I'm sick of what happens on Dueling Book. I've never played Master Duel, but from what Evie has told me, it's happening there too. And I've also hated it whenever I go into tournaments at card shops, at card and game shops, that I basically throw a fit over it, right, on both accounts, whether it's the solitaire combo loops or the damn wall blockers. Goodbye. Good fucking night. Bang.